Kick the tires and light the fires. Do it! Kick the tires and light the fires. Do it!
Revving up your engine, listening to a howling roar. Metal under tension, begging you to touch and go. Highway to the danger zone. Right into the danger zone. Zone of danger. Heading in the twilight, spreading out her wings tonight. She's got you jumping off the deck and shoving into overdrive. Highway to the danger zone. I'll take you right into the danger zone. You'll never say hello to you until you get it on the red light overload. You'll never know what you can do until you get it up as high as you can go. Out along the edges, always where I burn to be. The further on the edge, the hotter the intensity. Highway to the danger zone. Gonna take you right into the danger zone. Highway to the danger zone. Right into the danger zone. Highway to the danger zone. Right into the danger zone. I wanna take my shirt off and play volleyball in the danger zone. Then I'm gonna go buy some shoes dangerously. And then I'm gonna go home and sit in my danger zone chair and look at the danger zone internet. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Tom Cruise felt clear in the locker room in the underwear. Take my breath away. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I asphyxiate. 'Cause he took away my breath. I needed to live. Give me back my breath. Fuck, fuck, fuck.
Hey y'all, it's Majestic. I am back tonight, baby. Let's go. Falcor Mafia. Let's fucking go, y'all. Got some TCAP. Excuse me, Jesus. Got some TCAP calls for the night. Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's go.
13.
I have interest in younger girls. That is a fantasy of mine.
Is this the national news thing?
You mean like Dateline ND?
That would be probably the cleanest, best pleasure.
The cleanest, best pleasure is to have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, they're back. A string of suspects targeting children. It's another undercover sting.
It's funny when I saw this on Dateline. I'm like, that is so sick.
A Dateline net crime. To catch a predator. Like moths to a flame, they just keep coming. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stone Phillips.
And I'm Ann Curry. It has been more than 2 years now since we first began our series of reports investigating online sex predators. 5 different states, 129 men exposed.
Tonight, investigation number 6. This time, we've set up our hidden cameras in a rented house in rural Georgia. And once again, even men who have seen our reports show up at the door. We should let you know that some of what you will see and hear is explicit. Here's Chris Hansen.
I got an update on Scooby-Doo's car. He's going to be in an orange Ford Explorer.
On this stormy summer night, on a winding country road, a potential sex predator slowly approaches a house where he believes a child is waiting for him. He's driven a long way for this meeting, almost 2 hours.
There he is.
That was terrible.
But the driver won't find a young girl inside. Instead, a Dateline investigative team awaits his arrival.
All right, Emmy, he's coming in.
Why is this man making such a long trip in the dead of night? Perhaps because he believes a 15-year-old girl is alone inside, ready to have sex with him.
Open the door and call him. He's coming.
But his journey didn't begin today. It began more than a week earlier when he entered a Yahoo Georgia chat room and decided to hit on a decoy, an adult posing as a 15-year-old. It didn't take long for the 23-year-old, screen name Scooby-Doo ATL01, to steer the chat towards sex. He asked all kinds of sexual questions, like, what positions have you tried? You like doggy? The decoy says, I never did doggy before. And Scooby-Doo says, well, if we ever have sex, I'll introduce it to you. But I switch positions a lot,
already?
so you're bound to learn a few new tricks. Now, the man with the bag of tricks is walking in our house. We hired a very young-looking 19-year-old to play the part of the girl.
God damn it, Chris. I had to rewind. That was funny.
Learn a few new tricks. Now, the positions a lot, so you're bound to learn a few new tricks. Now, the man with the bag of tricks is walking in our house. We hired a very young-looking 19-year-old to play the part of the girl.
Chewing on a straw? Oh, he's one of those douchers.
Yeah, well,
He's one of those douchers, I think. Fucking chewing on a fucking straw.
The girl.
hey.
Took you a while to get
Hey.
Yeah, well, someone can't get good directions of where they live.
I was taking stuff out of the dryer. We'll take
Dude. That wig is horrendous. Fuck! Like, seriously, how can you not tell? That's a fucking wig. Like, holy shit. Like, it literally looks like it came out. Literally. It literally looks like it came off of what's that website? Wish.com. God.
Part of the girl.
Hey.
Took you a while
Hey.
to get here.
Yeah, well, someone can't get good directions of where they live.
I was taking stuff out of the dryer. It'll take a second. I made you some sweet tea. I had to do something to keep me awake. I just gotta finish taking this stuff out.
You'd never guess, by the way this man confidently walks into our house, that he's seen Dateline's investigations into internet sex predators before. And he's still willing to risk being exposed on national television.
Did you have a hard time finding the place, or?
Yeah, man.
Wait,
Got
what?
lost, huh?
Yeah, who are you?
Who are you?
No.
Dennis.
Internet sex predators before, and he's still willing to risk being exposed. By the way, this man confidently walks into our house that he's seen Dateline's investigations into internet sex predators before, and he's still willing to risk being exposed on national television.
Did you have a hard time finding the place, or?
Yeah, man.
You got lost, huh?
Yeah, who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Dennis.
In our latest hidden camera operation, this time in rural Fortson, Georgia, 90 minutes south of Atlanta, it doesn't surprise us that the chat rooms are full of men aware of our previous investigations. Men who want to have sex with a minor, but are concerned they might be caught on tape.
It's actually been referenced by name at this point. Did you ever see To Catch a Predator?
Tape.
But can you not
Men
tell
who
that's a
want to
fake?
have sex
Look at
with
that.
a minor.
Look at that. Can you not tell that's a fake fucking hair? Holy hell. I just finally figured this out. Not figured this out, but I mean, like, this fucking happened to notice it just now. In this call. I don't know. This is me.
Minor, but are concerned they might be caught on tape.
It's actually been referenced by name at this point. Did you ever see To Catch a Predator?
Dude, look at that! Look how bad that fucking wig is.
Do you think that this is a deterrent in some ways
They're
for
not
people
showing
coming
up.
over?
I mean, they're not coming over because they're afraid that it's media.
Del
Settle down,
Harvey,
Del.
her screen name, is a member of Perverted Justice, the online watchdog group dedicated to catching internet sex predators.
It's just a matter of getting them in the door.
Dateline paid Perverted Justice a consultant's fee to do what it usually does, go into chat rooms posing as 13 to 15-year-olds home alone, interested in sex. Some decoys pretend to be eager about sex. That's because experts we've spoken to say young teens are often curious, even precocious, when it comes to chatting online about sex without knowing the potential lifelong repercussions of being molested by an adult.
I don't know if anybody's in chat.
While it's encouraging to hear our investigations have scared off some potential child molesters, others, like Scooby-Doo ATL01, obviously didn't get the message. His real name is Dennis Colson, a construction worker from Atlanta. He says he's here to meet a girl named Izzy.
And how old is Izzy?
She told me she was 18.
So that'd be cool then.
A girl named Izzy.
And how old is Izzy?
She told me she was 18.
So that'd be cool then because she's of legal age.
No, I wasn't going to do anything.
The problem with that, though,
Are you
is
sure?
that I have.
Are you sure? This hat looks so fucking weird. I don't know why. It's really been bugging me this entire time. This glass is very crooked. Holy hell. Everything is off.
No, I wasn't going to do anything.
Look at that. Face of defeat by Hansen.
The problem with that, though, is that I have the transcript of your online chat.
Okay.
So you want to start again and tell the story from the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Story is 15.
And what did you guys talk about?
Just a lot of different things that I shouldn't have been talking about.
Give me an example.
Ask her if she's a virgin.
If she
Why the fuck do you need to know that? Seriously. Why? Why?
was a virgin.
Yes, sir.
And why would you ask that question?
Huh?
I really did not have, I don't know, I'm sorry, I apologize. But I really did not have any plans to do anything tonight.
Did you bring condoms?
No, sir, I have condoms in my car.
You had, well then,
So you were. Like what Hanson was about to say. Yeah.
You did bring condoms.
Yes, but they are for my, I mean, I have it for safety, but I mean.
It's a pedo Scooby. It's a pedo-roo. It's pedo-roo.
That's just hanging out. I wasn't gonna do. I seriously swear. I was not gonna do anything.
But you talk about jail.
I know.
You can't go to jail for not doing anything.
When I start to read some of his chat log, he gets up and starts pacing.
What positions have you tried?
Oh God, I'm an idiot.
You know how to ride?
Oh, you said it. Well, you, sir, said it, not us.
Like doggy? You tried.
Oh God, I'm an idiot.
You know how to ride? You like doggy? And then you ask.
Oh God, stop. Okay.
Just one more. You say, you ask if you delete all those IMs when you're done. I'd hate to have your mom get nosy.
Now it's time to tell him something he already knows.
Have you ever seen the program Dateline NBC?
Yes, I probably have. I don't know. Oh my God.
Have you ever seen the stories where
Yes.
men come to the house trying to meet teens?
Yes, but I wasn't trying to do that. I promise.
Well, I got to tell you something. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on guys, men trying to meet teens on the internet.
It was stupid. I'm a stupid man. That's all I can say. But I would like to leave.
He's free to leave, but he won't get very far. Perverted Justice has joined forces with the Harris.
Well, my boy Buff Pro would say.
County Sheriff's Office providing chat logs and phone records, evidence needed to make an arrest. Here in Georgia, if a man makes a date online for sex with someone he believes to be a minor, it's a felony.
Sheriff, get on the ground! Down on the ground! Down on the ground!
He's arrested.
Get on the ground. Put your hand behind your back. Please don't. Put your hands behind your back.
Please. Oh my God, my life is ruined. Can you just shoot me? Can y'all just shoot me? No.
And take.
Yeah. He said it. Let him say it again.
Put your hand behind your back. Please don't. Put your hands behind your back.
Please. Oh my God, my life is ruined. Can you just shoot me? Can y'all just shoot me? No.
And taken away.
Oh my God, I'm an idiot.
And he's brought into a room with an investigator from the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
How'd it go with house, Dennis?
That was awesome. That was the best day of my life right there.
You'll hear more of Scooby-Doo's interview with police later.
I never should have said any of that.
Is this guy on his way here?
With men all over the internet admitting they've seen our To Catch a Predator series, we wondered if it would stop a lot of them from trying to hook up with children. Or will there be many others like Scooby-Doo still brazen enough to show up at our house?
Come on in.
Wait and see.
Got someone in the driveway. Someone in the driveway.
The team inside Dateline's hidden camera house quickly moves into position.
Coming up. Driveway. Battle stations. Battle stations.
A man who made a date online for sex with a young girl has.
Now we're serial, everyone. Battle stations. Bad the battle stations. Let's hear that again. That was funny.
Camera house quickly moves into position.
Coming up. Driveway. Battle stations. Battle stations.
A man who made a date online for sex with a young girl has shown up earlier than expected. Our decoy, playing the part of a young girl, heads to the front door to wave the man in.
That fucking wig is still annoying the shit out of me right now.
Hey, come on in.
He's 32-year-old Christopher Xavier Cannon, here to meet a 15-year-old virgin. At least that's what he was told. Turns out he's a media director at his church, a volunteer position working with young teens, which makes his sexually explicit online chat all the more disturbing. Using the screen name Xavier01, he asks the girl if she's ever had an orgasm. The decoy says, "I don't think so," and Xavier01 says, "Good." Then he asks her,
"Do you want to be on top or bottom?"
I'm not sure. Which is better?
We'll have to see where you fit best, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I see. I think I know.
Or we can do doggy style.
Holy fuck.
Sorry, if I don't put this stuff in the washer right away, it just wrinkles. But I make some sweet tea, so just make yourself a glass.
Can I use your restroom?
Why don't you have a seat real quick?
Okay.
There he is. You knew what this was, but yet you showed up.
Use your restroom?
Oh, why don't you have a seat real quick?
Oh, yeah, I know what this is. I know what this was. I just went to test it. That's all.
Okay, now just.
Just wanted to test it. Dear God. That's all I have to say.
Sir?
Hey, the powers of Chris Hansen didn't work this time on this guy. Oh. Power is strong with this one.
What do you think it was?
Nothing.
He heads out the door, right into the arms of the Harris County Sheriff's Department.
I knew what it was. If you knew what it was, then why the hell did you show up? Jesus.
As our investigation continues here in rural Georgia, it becomes clear there are plenty of other men who seem to know about our investigations but show up anyway.
Yeah, slowing down, pulling in the driveway. Emily, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Here comes Need a Friend to Talk to 2005. He drove 4 hours to get
4 hours. Oh boy. Oh, got it. Why is the lawn so... Why is there a tote in the middle of the driveway? Or is this a sidewalk? This be a driveway, I think. How the hell is there one in there? Anyways.
Comes Need a Friend to Talk to 2005. He drove 4 hours to get here.
Go ahead and open the door.
Hey, come on in.
My God, it's pouring down rain. This. What the hell? Totes? Jeez.
It's raining outside, so I'll meet you in. I just gotta throw this in the dryer real quick.
Need a Friend to Talk to is really 25-year-old John Adam Daniels, a carpenter. He thinks he's here to meet a 13-year-old virgin named Nina. Online, he asks her if she wants to try anal sex and if he can perform oral sex on her.
How long?
A carpenter. He thinks he's here to meet a 13-year-old virgin named Nina. Online, he asks her if she wants to try anal sex and if he can perform oral sex on her. After the decoy agrees, she tells
He's a... Dude. Virgin? And the A word. What the hell? And I think... And it was like, what? How, like... That had to have been, like, so quick. 4 hours. Dude, that's like right away. He was like, hey. Yada, yada, yada. Fuck. Virgin. Oh, are you a virgin? What the fuck? Fuck.
tells him she's home alone, and he asks to spend the night. He's come prepared.
And to spend the night! What the hell?
He's brought his overnight bag, it looks like.
Sorry, I had to do laundry right
God
away.
damn it.
I had to have something cute to wear tonight. Did you try some of my sweet tea?
I'm not scared.
Sweet tea. You try my sweet tea? I see it.
Sorry, I'm almost done.
Okay, baby.
Did you bring me anything?
Yes, I did.
What did you bring me?
I was drinking some Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Looks like you brought.
And it's happened to notice. Look at Chris Hansen's face.
Did you try?
Look at Chris. Look at Chris. He's like, yeah, we caught him. We got one. That fucking grin. Look at Chris's grin. We bagged a good one here.
Try some of my sweet tea?
I'm not scared.
Sorry, I'm almost done.
Okay, baby.
Did you bring me anything?
Yes, I did.
What'd you bring me?
I drinking some Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Looks like you brought enough stuff to move in.
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat?
Yeah.
Cats.
Looks like you brought enough stuff to move in.
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat there?
And like some of the others, need a friend to talk to appears to know what he's walked into.
Am I being taped?
You are being taped.
Oh, crap. Am I going to be upbeat? Oh, rested?
Oh, rest. Oh, wow.
You are being taped.
Oh, crap. Am I going to be upbeat? Oh, rested?
That's not up to me.
Really
You
threw the
admit
hat
right
back.
here that you could be in trouble if anybody found out that a 25-year-old
Yes.
was meeting a 13.
Yes, sir.
You could. That's not up to me.
Oh my God! Look how bad he's shaking.
Upbeat. Oh, rested?
That's not up to me.
Look how.
You admit right here that you could be in trouble if anybody found out that a 25-year-old
Yes.
was meeting a 13.
Yes, sir. I thought it was a bad idea from the beginning, so.
But if you thought it was such a bad idea, why did you do it anyway?
No, sir.
I mean, you started talking, and 45 minutes into the conversation, you say, "Have you ever seen a man's blank?" Meaning,
Yes, sir.
conversation.
What?
You say, "Have you ever seen?" And 45 minutes into the conversation,
45 minutes. Well, never mind. It's about to be bad.
I mean, you started talking, and 45 minutes into the conversation, you say, "Have you ever seen a man's blank?" Meaning,
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
you ask what size bra she wears. Minutes
Dude.
later, you ask if she would like to move in with you.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. About like half hour into the conversation. Oh, do you want to move in with me? Oh my God.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Beginning, sir.
But if you thought it was such a bad idea, why did you do it? That a 25-year-old
Yes.
was meeting a 13.
Yes, sir. I thought it was.
Brought enough stuff to move in.
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat?
Yes.
And like some of the others, need a friend to talk to appears to know what he's walked into.
Am I being taped?
You are being taped.
Oh, crap. Am I going to be upbeat? Oh, rested?
Oh,
That's not up to
rested.
me. You admit right here that you
Sorry,
could be in
I had to
trouble
go
if anybody found out that a 25-year-old
Yes.
was meeting
I
a
had to
13.
re-listen to this. This is
I thought
like
it
my
was a bad
favorite.
idea from the beginning, so.
But if you thought it was such a bad idea, why did you do it anyway?
No, sir.
I mean, you started talking, and 45 minutes into the conversation, you say, "Have you ever seen a man's blank?" Meaning,
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
you ask what size bra she wears. Minutes later, you ask if she would like to move in with you.
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking here, Al?
I'm completely and totally stupid. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Can I pay you, sir?
Just like all the men who show up at our house, he's free to leave. Since he's seen our reports before, all the men who show up at our house, he's free to leave. Since he's seen our reports before, he show up at our house, he's free to leave. Since he's seen our reports before, he probably knows he won't be free for long, and there's nowhere to run.
Get on the ground! Get down on the ground! Get down!
And the parade continues.
Walking up the walk towards the door.
Hi, come on in.
Now back up. He's right there.
Fucking Aaron, look at her.
Here comes another man who, despite seeing our previous broadcasts, is willing to take the risk of showing up at a stranger's house to possibly have sex with a minor. He's 22-year-old Matthew Cogburn. Yesterday was his birthday. He's here to meet a decoy.
Cockburn? Fucking, is that his last name? Cockburn?
22-year-old Matthew Cogburn. Yesterday was his birthday. He's here to meet a decoy pretending to be a 14-year-old. This clean-cut, all-American-looking man has a MySpace page where he says Jesus rocks and lists God as his #1 hero. But when he goes into a Yahoo chat room, he seems like another person. His chat with a girl he thinks is 14 is so graphic, much of it can't be shown. He does ask the decoy if her house is secluded, so if they use the jacuzzi, you can moan and squeal all you want.
Nice house.
Thank you. Did you
Dude, this fucking wig is worse than the last one. Holy shit. Fuck. Look how bad. Dude. That's horrible. Please don't tell me they used this. Also, like how they did it, like this, like the picture, how they used like on the, like when they sent to the Predators and stuff. But holy hell. If they did, holy fuck, bro.
hard time getting here?
Well, the road that I was looking for didn't show up.
What? Overly dramatic stretch? Holy shit.
Thank you. Did you have a hard time getting here?
Well, the road that I was looking for didn't show up.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You have
God.
a seat there and get comfortable from that.
Look at this dude.
You had a feeling what was going to happen.
Fucking.
Sit down, please.
No,
That's the other thing that annoys the shit out of me is when they say that. Oh, I knew this was going to happen. Why the if you knew this was going to happen, then why the fuck would you have showed up?
Why don't you have a seat there and get comfortable from that?
I had a feeling this was going to happen.
You had a feeling what was going to happen. Go ahead, sit down, please.
No,
Well, no, I need to talk to you about a couple things, and I think you're going to want to talk about it. It's going to take a few minutes, so why don't you have a seat?
Is this going to be on national news?
I'm sorry, be on what?
Is this the national news thing?
NBC?
Yeah.
You mean like Dateline NBC?
Yeah.
What was your plan here today?
I can't answer that as...
You knew exactly what was fucking going to happen.
Struggle myself with what I want to do because
This dude is lying like a mole.
I'm still a virgin and I think it's stupid that I did this.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
22.
22 virgin. Never trust them.
And how old was the girl you were?
Look at this guy. Look at him. Those fucking glasses. Was that the thing back then? My God, that's horrible if it was. God damn, this is showing its age. God.
You were chatting with online?
The girl said she was 13 or 14.
13 or 14. And you thought that it would be okay to come over here and visit a young girl home alone?
I wanted to think it was okay, but I just...
Now, I'm looking at this chat log here. 16 minutes into this discussion, you ask if she can do deep throat.
What the fuck? Good. Last dude was 45. 16 minutes into the conversation. Look at his face. 15 minutes. What a piece of fucking shit. Look at his face. He knew what he did. That's a face of fucking... I just fucked up. Look at that fuck.
Explain that to me.
No reason to explain.
No reason to explain. How do you feel about sex? You on birth control, or are you sticking with condoms? You got toys?
Is there any?
Oh, hey,
Well, I
y'all.
want you to square that with what's on your
Hey, Michael Mendoza. Hey, evil
MySpace
little
website, where you
McNuggets.
talk
And hey,
about
boo.
Jesus Rock.
How y'all doing?
We're gonna do this too.
You'll hear more about this man's inner struggle after he's in police custody.
Get on the ground. Get down on the ground.
But
Oh,
there are
fuck.
many more potential
Yeah. Big fat fucking
sex
pizza.
predators about to keep their date with Dateline. More examples of the potential danger facing children on the internet.
The cleanest, best pleasure.
The cleanest, best pleasure is to have sex with a...
Oh my God, look at this. Like, freaking Wish.com 8 Mile looking motherfucker.
13-year-old girl.
Yes, sir.
Get on the ground. Get down on the ground.
Get on the ground.
Please, don't take
Put your hand behind your back.
As law enforcement arrests one suspect after another, what happens
Kylie,
next
sign
is
bucket,
almost
which lady?
inevitable. One of our invited guests drives by,
Welcome.
spots them, and takes off.
He actually watched it out front and was leaving.
But Lieutenant Sven Armburst of the Harris County Sheriff's Office is not about to let 36-year-old George Cleary get away.
He actually came by 3 times.
Did he really?
Yeah.
After Cleary sees this man being arrested, he heads for the highway. That's where detectives stop him. The 36-year-old, who makes his living as a pizza delivery man, drove 2 hours for the chance to have sex with a 14-year-old he met online. Using the screen name Broken Empires, he asks the decoy very personal questions like her bra size and do you shave down there? The decoy says, yeah,
Oh
a
my
little because of
God.
my bathing suit. Broken Empires says, cool. And when the decoy
Ew.
asks him what kind of girls he likes, he says small, skinny, beautiful, sexy, and young.
Oh my God, I love
He told
Gerald.
the decoy he would bring movies, CDs, and condoms.
I see you brought condoms.
Yes.
Oh.
She asked me to.
Intimate lubricant. What's this for?
She was going to give me a massage.
While one man was scared off when he saw police activity, others are wary even when all is quiet.
There he is.
There he is.
This man pulling into our driveway is 38-year-old Peter Seacutt,
Hey, look at
Don
this
Cheech.
guy.
Online, he
Hey,
goes
hey,
into
hey,
graphic
copy.
detail of how he'd like to perform oral sex on the boy posing as a 14-year-old. The
Oh,
decoy
yeah,
plays
check it.
along, but Don Cheech repeatedly says he's afraid
Fucking
of
Don
getting in trouble.
Cheech.
We think we know why. Listen.
Oh yeah, check it real high.
And as this female decoy, pretending to be Brian, talks to Don Cheech on the phone.
No, what are you talking about? What's Dateline? What is it? It's like Cops or something? I've seen Cops, you know.
Despite his fears of being caught in our report, the 38-year-old shows up anyway.
Come on, get it out of the rain.
Get out of the ring.
You're gonna get yourself all wet.
Dell
God
from
damn.
Perverted Justice now takes over the role of the boy.
Bum, 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 bum.
He tries to convince the man to come inside, but Don Cheech seems very reluctant.
Hey, bro! Come on in. Come on, I gotta finish cleaning up the
Oh, bro!
kitchen.
Jesus.
I told you to come on in out of the rain. Did you not hear me?
Get
He
on
wants
out
to
of
be
the
sure
ring.
Dell is really the boy he came to see.
Pull your hat off. He's suspicious.
He's leaving again.
Yeah, he's...
After Dell refuses to take her hat off, the 38-year-old heads back to his car. That's when law enforcement moves in and arrests him.
Put the camera out of my face, please.
And
This
as
guy
you're about to see,
acted
there
all
are
tough.
more
Get the
potential
camera out
predators
my
like Don
face.
Cheech who don't stay long.
Dell's going to go
God
out
damn,
and
you're
try and get
fat.
him. He's looking for a black female, so we're trying to pull this off.
Meet 43-year-old James Klein.
Did he say black female?
Looking for a black female, so we're trying to pull this off.
Oh, shit.
Meet 43-year-old James Klein, a married man with 3 children. He's here to meet a girl who told him she was 15. Online, he calls himself Hold You Closer 2003. He asks the girl if she's ever experienced oral
Oh
sex.
my God, this
The
guy.
decoy tells him no, and he says, I can tell you one thing, My tongue would be all over you, your mouth, your nipples, down between your legs, too.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
Now, Hold You Closer 2003 is walking in our house.
I gotta throw my laundry in, but I made you tea.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
How you doing? Pretty good. Good. Why don't you have a seat right over there? Did you find the place okay?
Huh?
Did you find the place okay?
No, I didn't.
It took you a while.
Huh?
Did you get lost?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay?
No, I didn't.
Wait, am I fucking high, or is this the actual conversation that's happening right now?
Good. Why don't you have a seat right over there? Did you find the place okay?
Huh?
Did you find the place okay?
No, I didn't.
It took you a while.
Huh?
Did you get lost?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why are you here tonight?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
He may be able to run away from us, but because Georgia authorities believe his chat log showed intent to have sex with a minor, he's arrested.
On the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
The next man we're about to meet not only sits down for an interview, he actually admits it's likely he would have taken the virginity of a 13-year-old girl if she was willing.
Hey, I'm up here.
He's 20-year-old.
The wig is really pissing me off still.
Old Cody Green, screen name Perfect Buddy Georgia. He's been chatting online with a girl posing as a 13-year-old virgin named Maddie Girl 92. He tells the decoy, "I definitely appreciate being your first." The decoy says, "Really? You don't mind I'm a virgin?" Perfect Buddy answers, "If you don't mind me taking it from you, I actually would love it and never have been with a virgin." Perfect Buddy then sends not one, but 8 different pictures of his
What the fuck?
genitals. The chat lasts for 2 days. And then he shows up at our house.
Yeah, I made some tea and it's on the table.
This guy is like...
He tries to follow the decoy.
Should have a seat right in that chair.
Instead, he runs into me.
Please,
This
sir, I really
stupid-looking
drove this far for no
motherfucker.
reason.
You drove this far for no reason.
For no reason, then what the
Perfect
fuck?
Buddy
God
says
damn
he
it.
was really just looking for a friend, nothing more. But then his story seems to change.
Please, I swear, sir, I'm a desperate person.
My brain cells literally deplummet every time this fucker talks.
I need a girl in my life, and if she really wanted to be my friend, that would be all I needed from her.
She said she was 13.
She did. I'm sorry, sir. I have interest in younger girls. That has just been a fantasy of mine.
A fantasy?
Yes, sir.
Do you know it violates Georgia law?
Yes, sir.
Did you say you are ready to have my thang in your mouth?
Yes, sir.
Maybe like something Eric Cartman would say. You want my thing in your mouth?
What do you mean by that?
Are you ready to have my in your mouth? Because she was going with it. She was.
Oh, so she wanted it.
That's what it
It's
seemed
her
like
fault.
to me. It's not her fault at all.
She made you come over here.
I came here for reasons like that. But if she really didn't want it, sir, I swear to you, I would have never tried it.
But if she was open to the idea,
Yes.
you would have had sex with a 13-year-old girl.
Probably, yeah.
Holy fuck.
I'm sorry, I know you think it's bad, but that's what it is. And that would be probably the cleanest, best pleasure, I would say.
The cleanest, best pleasure
Yes, sir.
is to have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
Yes, sir. Are you her father or something like that?
I'll get to that in a minute.
Please tell me this, sir. Am I going to be in trouble for this?
I want to ask you one more question. You said you had to go see your PO.
Yes, sir.
Your parole officer.
Yes, sir.
What are you on parole for?
I got a DUI.
Anything else?
I got a hit and run charge the other day.
A hit and run charge.
Yes, sir.
So you get DWI, a hit and run charge. Well, that's something you got to know. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Yes, sir.
We're doing stories on adults who try to meet teens on the internet for sex.
So what happens to these men after they're arrested?
On the ground! On the ground! On the ground!
You'll hear more incredible revelations as the suspects tell their stories to the police.
It's like, this is so sick. Why did I do this?
In chat rooms with young teens, now in the interrogation room with police. When our Dateline Net Crime To Catch a Predator continues.
Welcome back to our latest investigation into online sex predators. This time we're in rural Harris County, Georgia. And among the law officers on this case, a Secret Service agent. So far, we've seen a series of men trying to meet underage teens in internet chat rooms. Now, these suspects are under arrest and heading into a police interrogation room. Again, some of what you'll see and hear is explicit. Here's Chris Hansen.
It was stupid. I'm a stupid man.
After Dateline confronts a potential sex offender here in rural Fortson, Georgia,
Free lead. What's going to happen?
Down on the ground! Down on the ground!
law enforcement working with the online watchdog group Perverted Justice steps in.
Put your hands behind your back.
Even the U.S. Marshals and Secret Service are involved. Remember Scooby-Doo ATL-01, 23-year-old Dennis Colson? He made plans to teach new sex tricks to a girl he was told was 15.
Oh my God. I'm a idiot.
After he's arrested, he's put in an unmarked car and taken to this EMS station where he'll be questioned by law enforcement. His car is searched. The police find directions to the house along with condoms and marijuana.
More TVs in here?
Colson is then brought to a room where he waits to be interrogated. That's where he meets Harris County Sheriff Mike Jolly, who finds out this isn't Colson's first run-in with the law.
I'd like to get out of jail free card.
There's no get out of jail free card.
No, about from my parents, what I'm saying.
Oh, you've already used it one time?
I used it one time. It's done now, especially with this. It's over.
What you been picked up for?
Let's just not talk about it.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out.
Turns out Scooby-Doo has had several prior charges.
Colson, he had 4 prior charges, from theft to simple battery, simple assault. Some of these are aggravated type crimes.
But he was never convicted. Tonight, he'll have 4 more charges added to the list: enticing a child for indecent purposes, obscene internet contact, criminal attempted child molestation, and possession of marijuana. One charge was later dropped. Scooby-Doo is brought into the interrogation room.
Oh my God, it's such a crime. I can't cry.
Investigators read Colson his rights.
I have to advise you that you, one, have the right to remain silent.
And start asking him questions.
And what screen name did you use since the 14th of July?
Give it up.
Investigator Gary Lewis shows the 23-year-old a copy of the chat he had with a decoy playing a 15-year-old.
Yeah, there's a lot of explicit there that I definitely shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
Let's not read that.
Saw that.
Let's just not read it. I never should have said any of that.
Less than 5 minutes after y'all were communicating, she relayed to you that she was 15 years old. I'm curious as to why you continued the conversation.
Because I'm retarded.
You're retarded.
Because I'm retarded. Because I'm so bored of and I just looking for conversation, and I was conversating. I'm not trying to clear it up. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's bad.
I mean, why would you ask a 15-year-old girl
I think we need
if she's still a virgin?
I think we should go ahead and stop.
Scooby-Doo ends the interview pretty quickly.
My name's Tony. I work with the sheriff's office, and this is Teresa.
But sheriff's investigators like Tony Knotts and a Secret Service agent disguised because of her undercover work have others to question.
Basically, you've been caught in a sting operation. Of course, that's why you're in handcuffs.
Christopher Cannon is the 32-year-old volunteer church director who mentioned several sexual positions he'd like to try with a girl posing as a 15-year-old. He's the one who ran as soon as he saw me.
Oh, why don't you have a seat real quick?
Yeah, I know what this is.
No, please, I need you.
Yeah, I know what this was. I just went to test it, that's all.
Okay.
But that's not what he tells investigators.
It's funny.
Say.
When I saw this on Dateline a few months ago, or whatever.
You show up in the middle of it.
Yes, that is so sick. Why did I do this?
The investigator reminds him he'd been chatting online with the decoy for more than a week, and many times the chat turned sexual.
I mean, just playing around with her, but my intention wasn't to do it. I even wanted to reject it.
But you drove 115 miles.
I know it. I kept saying to myself, why am I coming out here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Turn around, turn around. Trust me, I wanted to turn around.
Help me understand, because I'm kind of lost when you say that you didn't want to come, but you're here.
Part of me was like, they would just turn around. Yeah. And part of me was like, it's the first weekend you had to yourself. Just go out there, hang out a little bit. Don't do anything silly.
Well, why would you even have a sexual conversation with a 15-year-old?
I really tried to avoid her when I first met her. Every time I get online, she
initiate the conversation.
You said you didn't initiate the conversation, but actually you did. She never talked to you. You said hello, Natalie, because you saw her in a chat room.
Yeah.
And how are you doing today? That was the first initiation on your part.
Yeah, I did initiate. Yeah, just chatting.
You asked her if she's horny now, and then you asked her if she's wet now. Why would you care if a 15-year-old is wet?
Stupidity, man. I mean, I don't know why. It's just
when you tell her you'll be gentle, what are you referring to when you're talking about being gentle?
Honest.
Just being with her. Nothing sexually touching her. No,
Chris, we've been doing this too long.
Yeah, just.
I understand. Y'all go through this.
I just saw you do the sign of the cross, so I know you're probably a religious man.
I'm about to.
And you would probably feel better if you.
If it never happened.
Yeah, never happened.
She opened the door, said, "Come on in."
Another man who probably wishes it never happened was someone who also ran from
I have
us,
some more questions for you, sir.
Why does he look
but
like a
did
turtle?
talk to police.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Remember 43-year-old Jim Klein? Online, he made plans to lick a 15-year-old all over. He admits to investigators he's been married for 20 years and has 3 children, ages 11, 13, and 15.
How would you feel if this was your 15-year-old or your 11-year-old or your 13-year-old? How would you feel?
I feel awful.
That's it, just awful?
No.
Have a good night.
No.
I mean, you were pretty much down here tonight, 100 miles away from home, to do what you were going to do and damage this child's mind for the rest of her life. Sex, maybe sex to you, but to this child, 15, she's got to live with this for the rest of her life.
And Klein actually does admit he was planning on staying the night.
I was going to leave tomorrow morning.
Where were you going to stay?
Collar, it looked like a
She said I could stay there. She said the house says it was a big house.
Where were you going to sleep at? Did y'all discuss any of those options
like
there?
fucking bugging me.
And you brought 4 movies, and you arrived at 9:30 at night?
Yes.
You going to stay up all night watching movies?
Yeah. I mean, if she wanted to watch all 4, we would have watched all 4.
Would you have done anything else if she wanted to do anything else?
It was talked about.
Klein says he had 2 glasses of wine before he started chatting online, and it clouded his judgment. But that doesn't explain why he showed up the next day, apparently stone cold sober.
I was seriously considering not even coming down here, and I was just saying, I just don't feel comfortable about this. I don't feel good about this. I just don't think it's a good idea.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
This man also realizes it wasn't a good idea. He's the religious 22-year-old who said he was conflicted about meeting a 14-year-old after a sexually graphic online chat.
I've been in I'm not gonna say a mental struggle, but I'm still a virgin and I've been having trouble.
He tells investigators that this isn't the first time he's gone to visit someone he met online. In fact, he says he met his last girlfriend on MySpace.
We dated for 5.5 months, but there was nothing sexual, nothing, just good, clean relationship.
And she wasn't the only one.
I have met girls before, but I haven't done anything. I couldn't, just because of my spirituality, and I didn't. Solely deep down, I didn't have any intentions to do anything. I've been able to talk the way I've talked, and this is my punishment.
And his punishment, like the other men caught in this investigation, begins when they are taken in a van to the county jail.
And turn your head to your left.
Where they are photographed.
Press down.
Fingerprinted.
Hey kids, don't up. It's a bad idea.
And put behind bars awaiting a bond hearing. Most of the men have to wait 48 hours in jail until the judge will see them.
His bond would then be set at $25,000.
While most of the men say they would not have had sex with a minor, none have had a chance to enter a plea. So far, you've met 7 men who showed up at our undercover house. And despite all our previous investigations, there are more on the way, and you won't want to miss their stories. And watch what happens when this man tries to run from police.
South, guys.
It was a to catch a predator first. This man made plans online for a threesome with an underage teen and his adult girlfriend.
You ready? You can hear me? Okay, great.
35-year-old Marvin Smith, being waved into our house by a decoy, said he and his girlfriend wanted to have sex with a girl who told them she was a 15-year-old virgin.
Come on in.
Wait, if there was a threesome, then where's the other person?
Like a couple minutes.
Online, he calls himself Southwest Georgia Male Yes. His chat is one of the most graphic and disturbing we've come across. At first, he offers the decoy, Erin Lynn B., $250. When she asks, "Why do you want to give me money?" he says, "'Cause I want you." Then he tells her about another girl he met online.
She was 15 like you. Her mom was at work.
Okay.
She invited me over.
Okay.
Had never had sex.
Oh.
Her and her friend.
He goes on to say that the two girls performed oral sex on him, and then he describes in detail how he claims to have taken one of the girls' virginity. And he doesn't stop there. After he sends pornography, he then introduces the decoy to a woman who calls herself Phyllis, his girlfriend, and says she wants to be there with us. Phyllis then apparently gets on the computer herself and starts chatting with Erin Lynn B. and explains how it would work. She says her boyfriend would have sex with both of us. As he's doing one of us, he would want us to play with each other. To verify Phyllis was real, a decoy from Perverted Justice spoke to her on the phone.
Phil, how are you? This is Erin.
Phyllis, the girlfriend, doesn't show up. She apparently had to work. But Southwest Georgia Male Yes does, and is now in our house and in hot pursuit of our decoy.
I didn't get a chance to get a hug.
Have a seat.
But as the decoy walks behind the curtain, the man sees our camera crew and runs.
He saw Ron. He's coming out. He's coming out.
And he keeps on running, even after sheriff's deputies order him to stop. Finally, an officer's taser knocks him to the ground. After he's arrested, he's taken in for questioning. This man with the incredibly vulgar chat reveals something that, ironically, no longer surprises us.
I was a minister in the church.
What church you go to?
My dad was a preacher in the Baptist church. I don't want to go to prison.
It also turns out he's married and worried about his wife finding out.
Mr. Gary.
Yes. What is it, man?
I lose everything I got.
Do what?
I'm gonna lose everything I have, Mr. Gary.
The 35-year-old asks to speak to a lawyer, and the interview is over. He's then taken to the county jail, fingerprinted, photographed, and put behind bars.
Is Marvin Harrison Smith your true name?
Yes, ma'am.
The next day, he goes before a judge, and bail is set.
All right, that's a total of $35,000.
Back at the house, there are more suspected predators on the way. This man pulling into our driveway is 38-year-old David Hilbish. He builds tunnels.
In the chat, he had mentions molesting another 15-year-old.
He's been chatting with a decoy pretending to be 14. He says he'd rather not come to her home. He'd like to take her to a hotel.
Emily, wave him in. Here he comes. Good job. Good job. We got him coming.
Online, using the screen name Tunnels 12,000, he tells the decoy named Tracy in Excess this isn't his first time meeting a teen on the internet. I did it with a 15-year-old before, and I came real close to getting caught. I didn't have sex with her, everything but. He later says he was questioned by detectives, but never charged. Now, he wants to have sex with Tracy.
I want all of you, Tracy, in every way.
You show me, okay?
Hey! Come on in! I made you some sweet tea.
I don't want to be. I want to.
Oh, well, I just gotta throw this in the dryer real quick or everything's gonna get wrinkled. Quick or everything's gonna get Oh, well, I just gotta throw this in the dryer real
I don't want to be. I want to.
Oh, well, I just gotta throw this in the dryer real quick or everything's gonna get wrinkled. Okay, this will only take a second. I'm sorry you couldn't bring your bike. I would have loved to see it.
Could you have a seat right over there, please? How you doing?
Yeah.
Go ahead, son.
When I confront the 38-year-old, his memory seems a bit foggy.
And so you were chatting with a girl named Tracy.
Right.
And how old is Tracy?
I don't have no idea.
The problem for you, David, is that I have the chat right here. How old are you again?
What do
Not
you
sure
want
if
to
I
know?
read that right. 14. She said she's 14 right here, right?
I guess so.
So what you said before was not true.
Correct.
Okay. Have you ever done this before?
No.
Have you ever been with an underage girl before?
No, not sexually, no.
I did it with a 15-year-old before, and I came real close to being caught. We stay out all night and fall asleep in my
I
truck.
didn't break the law that I knew of, and the police officer told me that.
And why?
I don't know what the law is, but he didn't. He questioned me. I went back home that night, and he called me Monday.
When I read him some of what he wrote in his chat log, he first tries to blame the girl.
I would do it in a minute with you, hoping I would stay out of jail. You ask her if she likes oral sex.
And she asked me several things also.
Does that make it right?
No, and she invited me here.
So because a 14-year-old girl invites you to come over, it's okay
That don't
for
make
a...
it right. It's wrong. I admit I'm wrong.
Why did you do it?
There is no reason.
I'd want to stay all night. Did you bring any alcohol with you?
Yeah,
Yeah. And what did you bring exactly?
exactly what she asked.
When I ask him what his plan was here tonight, he says he's not really sure.
If this 14-year-old girl was willing to have sex with you, would you have had sex with her?
I can't say for sure. I never did with that other girl, and that's the reason why.
That's the reason why?
She was underage.
Aren't there any girls or women of legal age that you can date? I mean, what?
I have a fiance.
Huh?
I have a fiance.
You have a fiance. And how do you suppose this is going to play when she finds out about this?
It's not going to play at all.
Now it's time to tell Tunnels 12,000 what he's walked into.
I need to tell you that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who meet teens online and then try to meet them in person for sex. If there's anything else you want to tell us about this situation...
I can understand how y'all legally been able to do this.
Oh, we can.
Okay.
Now,
then he says he'd like to say something more.
I just need to stay off the internet, maybe.
He says he's not a predator. He's a lonely man raising 2 children alone who uses the internet to meet women.
The predator is somebody that constantly does that. I don't do that. I would prefer to have someone my age that would prefer to have me. But if some female makes an offer to you and you're lonely already, it's tempting for a person.
what made this so tempting for you?
Being lonely.
Anything else you'd like to tell us?
No. Are y'all going to get me arrested when I leave?
Had he seen our previous reports, he would know exactly what's going to happen next.
Sheriff's office, get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get out! Get out! Get on the ground! Lay down! Lay down!
And an update on one of the most shocking men caught in our To Catch a Predator series, a rabbi.
Channel.
I gotta ask, you still gonna be out for tonight?
We'll see.
So how can I help you?
In August 2005, 54-year-old David Kay was caught in one of our To Catch a Predator investigations trying to meet a 13-year-old boy for sex. Turns out Kay was a rabbi.
You know I'm in trouble, and I know I'm in trouble.
Kay was convicted and recently sentenced to 6.5 years in prison and 10 years of supervised release. The judge gave him a harsh sentence in part because he thought Kay lied at his trial.
What was your plan here today in this house?
Hang out and whatever stuff.
Hang out and whatever.
I don't know. I mean, if nothing was really going to happen or nothing, I mean, hey.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get down! Hands out! Hands out!
Next week, our investigation in Harris County, Georgia, continues.
You're a mature guy with a very successful career in the military.
Yes, sir.
What does a guy like you do an online chat with somebody who's 14 years old?
Just fooling around.
You'll hear more from this soldier and many other men who show up at our house hoping to meet a young teen home alone.
Come on in, have a seat. I mean,
Good.
So how can a parent protect a child from an internet predator? You'll find a complete online safety guide on our website, including advice on how to talk to your kids and how to monitor their internet use. Just log on to dateline.msnbc.com.
That's all for now. I'm Stone Phillips. For Ann Curry and all of us at NBC News, thanks for watching.
A 24-year-old with a 15-year-old as jailbait.
And jail is exactly where he's going. Coast to coast, Dateline launches more undercover stings.
Get on the ground now! Hand behind your back. Get down!
More than 80 suspected predators caught by our cameras and by police.
You know who I am.
You're on the Dateline show.
They may know who we are, but what's shocking is they still come knocking.
Does your boss know that you are online chatting with this girl?
I'm sure they don't.
You say to her, I can't control my horny level. You're talking about taking her virginity.
Tonight, 3 military men are at the door.
What's really sad is this could cost you a military career. I know that's.
Beware our man behind that curtain.
Chris Hansen with a hidden camera investigation.
I believe that we would have had some young child sexually abused. No doubt in my mind.
A Dateline net crime to catch a predator. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stone Phillips.
And I'm Ann Curry. In community after community, vulnerable young teenagers are still at risk from grown men online. Now our hidden cameras are in Georgia.
And among the suspected predators caught on tape, 3 military men. 2 served in Iraq, but could they now be serving time in prison? Chris Hansen has our latest investigation, and again, we want to warn you that some of it is explicit.
She said she was 13.
She did. I'm sorry, sir. I have interest in younger girls. That has just been a fantasy of mine.
A fantasy?
Yes, sir.
Do you know it violates Georgia law?
Yes, sir.
Come on in.
So even when men know it's against the law,
Are you going to arrest me or what?
Get on the ground! On the ground now!
know there's a chance they'll be apprehended.
Am I being taped?
You are being taped.
Oh, crap.
And know all about Dateline's previous reports on internet sex predators.
Yeah, I know what this is.
No, please, I need you.
Yeah, I know what this was. I just went to test it, that's all.
They still show up at a house where they were told a child is home alone and willing to have sex with them. And the number of men who continue to arrive at the door during each undercover operation is alarming.
All right, this is True Sweet Guy. True Sweet Guy.
Like our latest investigation, the 6th one, this time in Harris County, Georgia.
Emily, open the door and call.
We've rigged this house with 12 hidden cameras, 5 inside and 7 outside.
Which camera you want to lose?
From a control room inside the house, a crew operates the cameras and records a man's every move from the moment he drives up to the house. We've hired a young-looking 19-year-old to play the part of a young girl, a decoy who will invite the men in.
Hey! Come on in.
This is 24-year-old Raimundo Anguiano. He thinks he's here to see a 14-year-old girl named Diane. He met her online just hours ago in an AOL chat room.
Yeah, I made some sweet tea for you if you want a glass. It's super good. It's what we do down south. I'll be right back.
To give you an idea why he might be here, take a look at what he said online. Using the screen name True Sweet Guy 69, he asks a decoy, an adult pretending to be 14, if she's good at giving oral sex. The decoy says, nobody ever complained. Didn't do it lots, but I know how to do it. Then True Sweet Guy 69 asks if he shows the girl a picture of his penis, would she give him oral sex? The decoy, who he thinks is 14, says, oh yeah. And sure enough, True Sweet Guy 69 sends her a picture of his genitals.
How you doing? Why don't you have a seat right over there? What are you doing here?
We were talking online, and I just wanted to come and meet her.
And who were you talking online with?
With that young lady there, sir.
The young lady?
Yes, sir.
Okay, he wants the decoy to meet her at the car.
He was really talking online with a different decoy, a member of the online watchdog group Perverted Justice, which Dateline hired to do what they normally do, go into chat rooms and set up computer profiles pretending to be young teens who are interested in sex. And sometimes, as in the case of True Sweet Guy 69, the decoy says she is sexually experienced.
And how old is that young lady?
She said she was 14, sir.
14. And how old are you?
24, sir.
24?
Yes.
And you thought that was appropriate. Why?
Well, I don't know, sir. I mean, I just thought it was all right. I mean.
Then I ask him about the picture of his genitals he sent to the girl posing as a young teen.
Now, when you were online, you sent this picture.
Yes, sir.
You did?
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
Right. Now, you know that's against the law, right?
Yes, sir, it is. You just get into these chat rooms and stuff, and, you just chat away.
Do you send pictures like that very often?
No. Just if, just only if I'm really serious about talking to somebody or something, but other than that, no.
Well, Ray, what do you think would have happened if I wasn't here and a 14-year-old girl was here home alone?
Well, if whatever was going to happen was going to happen. If nothing was going to happen, then hey.
So if she was willing to have sex with you, you would have had sex with her?
I would still have second thoughts.
Second thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Jesus.
But
bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, I've seen the show about 3 times on TV already.
You've seen this show?
Yes, sir.
So you know exactly what's going on here?
Yeah.
You know who I am?
You heard right. This man's aware of our previous investigations.
You're on the Dateline show.
Exactly.
Yes, I know who you are.
I'm Chris Hansen.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
Now, did you think at all that maybe you were walking into To Catch a Predator?
It was, and that kind of crossed my mind for a minute. For a minute, you
Yeah.
know. And then I just wiped it away,
So you wiped it away. Do you think it was a good show?
No, I mean, yeah, it was supposed to stop people and things like that,
Well, this is the part where usually I say, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC,
yeah.
right? Okay, you remember that part?
Yes, I remember.
And then you remember when these guys come out, the cameras come out, right? And then I say, if there's anything else you'd like to tell us,
No, that's it.
we'd like to hear it. Otherwise, you're obviously free to walk out the door you came in.
And like the other men he's seen in our reports, True Sweet Guy 69 probably knows he's about to face yet another confrontation.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Now, on your face. On your face. Get down.
Perverted Justice has been sending all the sexually explicit online chat logs between its decoys and the potential predators to the Harris County Sheriff's Department.
All right, so here's the updated logs.
In Georgia, it's a crime to attempt to solicit sex online with a minor. And law enforcement says showing up at this house makes a case even stronger. So True Sweet Guy 69 is arrested. Put in an unmarked car and taken in for questioning.
I just choose my right to remain silent.
Okay. After that, he's transported to the county jail, where he's fingerprinted, photographed,
Down to the left.
and locked up. The next day, he goes before a judge, and his bail is set.
The criminal attempt child molestation is $15,000.
And as you'll see, there are many more men about to go down the same road, from our undercover house to the courthouse, and all the stops in between.
Coming up, we've never seen this. A suspect with something very specific in mind.
Now, this is the fetish guy with the boots.
You talk about taking her out and buying her some boots.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
When To Catch a Predator continues.
You're going to push that open, you're going to haul her out.
We've hired this young-looking 19-year-old named Amanda to play the part of an underage girl home alone.
And you come around here.
She gets into position, standing by the front door as a potential predator shows up at our undercover house.
Come on in, I'm just finishing up getting out of the shower.
Oh my God.
37-year-old Todd West has no problem following our decoy right into the house. He's here to meet a girl who online told him she was a 14-year-old virgin.
That's horrible.
Using a screen name we can't show on TV, he chats on and off with the decoy named Mystic Roses for a week. Then he decides to turn on his webcam and send the girl a live picture of his penis.
Come on in.
After they set up a plan for him to come over, the decoy asks if he'll bring condoms and Jack Daniels. So did he?
Nice digs.
Did you bring the Jack Daniels?
Yep.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Oh boy.
Did you pick up the condoms?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I did.
He seems at ease with her, even though he's in a strange house talking to someone he's never met in person before.
Do you have any special ideas for tonight or anything?
That fucking goatee.
What are some of your ideas?
I don't know.
God.
You tell me.
More about him a little later. This next man heading into the house just made a stop at a gas station down the road. As you can see from this security camera video, he bought condoms before coming over to meet a girl he thinks is a 13-year-old virgin.
Come on in. I'm just finishing getting ready.
You didn't have to take a shower.
Well,
He's 37-year-old William Rowell, a service tech for coin-operated machines. Also known as Bear in Wolf's Fur, he's talking to a decoy named Sassy Little Lady. He tells the girl, "You know that I really want to make love to you, but I want to hold you close to me." The decoy says, "I want that too." Later, using a different screen name, Wolf Knight 30, he tells the decoy he's worried because of the Dateline shows of late. The decoy, responding like a 13-year-old, says, "What's Dateline?" She pretends not to know about the show to see if a man apparently aware of our investigation would still take the risk and show up. He explains to her it's a show on NBC. They have been doing a lot of shows about internet predators, but that isn't enough to scare him away.
Where's she at?
come on in. Give me just like 5 minutes to get ready. There's sweet tea if you want it. You don't have to drink it if you don't want to.
What, I can't go to your room with you?
Well, that'll ruin the surprise.
Actually, I'd rather for you to come. Oh, sir. Sir, I need to talk to you a minute.
No.
I don't get the chance to speak with him or Todd West, the first man in the door, but the team from the Harris County Sheriff's Office will.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Hands behind your back. Get on the ground now!
After he's read his rights, 37-year-old West chooses to remain silent.
Can I have a lawyer present? Yeah, sure. I'm assuming this is being recorded. Yeah.
But Baron Wolfsfur talks at length with Chief Rhett Wade and investigator Tony Knotts.
Who are you here to meet tonight?
Brooke. Her name was Brooke.
All right. How old is Brooke?
Brooke said she was 13.
Okay.
Was my intention to have sex with her? No.
Did you stop down here at the Chevron gas station and purchase condoms?
Yes, right, but my intentions were because she asked me to bring condoms. I had the condoms just in case, but my intentions were not to have sex.
We only buy condoms for one thing.
To have sex, I know. So that's why I'm being charged with being a pedophile.
He's not being charged as a pedophile. That would be sex with a much younger child. Instead, he'll face criminal attempt to commit child molestation.
I think you think me and Corporal Knotts here are acting like you'd come down here and try to have sex with someone who's not consenting, and that's not what we're talking about at all. We know good and well you wouldn't have forced yourself on Brooke.
My intentions were not to have sex, but if the opportunity was there, then yeah. But my intentions were not to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason I feel like I'm being tricked.
After the interview, Rowell is taken to the Harris County Jail. He's still in custody today, unable to make bail.
Now this is the fetish guy with the boots.
Meanwhile, back at the house, Amanda, our decoy, is in place ready to invite our next guest inside.
All right, Amanda, this guy should be bringing riding boots for you to wear.
Using the screen name Gerald White 30627, this 31-year-old starts chatting with a girl posing as a 15-year-old. He asks the decoy if she wears boots. The girl responds, "I wish I had some tall ones." Then Gerald White 30627 says, "Perhaps we could go boot shopping." The decoy types, "Wow, you mean for like the big ones?" Then he cuts to the chase and says, "I'm not going to avoid the subject. I would like to make love to you after we are done boot shopping. I have a serious fetish for boots." Gerald White later tells the decoy he's going to bring her a pair of boots. But as he comes in the house, he's not carrying any.
Come on in, get some sweet tea.
Good.
I just gotta get these clothes out so they don't wrinkle. Did you bring the riding boots?
Yes.
All
They're
right.
out in the car.
I can't wait to get my own pair.
So you have a little shopping day planned this afternoon?
Yep.
Yeah. And who are you taking shopping today?
Pretty good.
They don't wrinkle.
Good.
I just gotta get these clothes out so they don't wrinkle. Did you bring the riding boots?
Yes.
All
They're
right.
out in the car.
I can't wait to get my own pair.
So you have a little shopping day planned this afternoon?
Yep.
Yeah. And who are you taking
Fucking sweatpants.
shopping today?
Yeah.
Natasha.
Natasha.
Yes.
And how did you meet Natasha?
Met her online.
Online.
Yes.
And how old do you think Natasha is?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No, sir. We never discussed.
You never discussed it?
To refresh his memory, I read to him from his chat log.
I'm 15.
You don't have to go any further. I understand.
You talk about taking her out and buying her some boots.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
It's just shopping, period.
Shopping.
That's it.
So you just found a 15-year-old girl online, decided you're going to buy her a pair of leather boots that you want her to wear 24 hours a day, you say right here? What was your plan here today?
No plan whatsoever.
No plan whatsoever.
Just coming to talk and everything. Obviously, I need...
As the 31-year-old heads for the door, law enforcement moves into place, ready to take the man down as soon as he walks outside.
Get on the ground now! Get down!
Police arrest him and lead him away, clearing the front of the house so more suspects are free to come in.
Coming up, the Air Force, the Army, the National Guard. 3 military men come knocking at the door.
Married looking for fun, that's you, right?
And a confrontation brings one of them to his knees. When To Catch a Predator continues. Welcome back to our 6th investigation into online sex predators. This time we're in Harris County, a rural part of Georgia. And sad to say, among the surprises at the door are 3 military men, one formerly in the Air Force and 2 others who recently served in Iraq. Now they're under arrest and in the interrogation room with police. Again, Chris Hansen.
There he is. Oh. He's coming in.
Whether near a big city or a rural area like Harris County, Georgia, lines of potential predators find their way to our undercover houses. Meet 24-year-old Brian Lindsay, here because he was invited by a girl who said online she was 15.
I gotta throw my clothes in the wash, okay? I made you some tea, though.
Using the screen name BLindsay01, he describes how he wants to give the girl oral sex. He says, "I can't control my horny level." Then he says, "I want to blank your brains out. I can't help it."
I want to
Now
blank
he's driven
your brains
2.5
out,
hours to meet her.
Have some tea if you want some. It's sweet tea. Is that okay?
Yeah,
I'm gonna blank your brains out, y'all.
I already drank some on the way.
Did you find the place okay?
Yes, sir.
Would you have a seat right over there, please? What are you up to tonight?
Just driving around.
Just driving around?
Yes, sir.
And why is he just driving around? He says he's been away from Georgia for 2 years while serving in the United States Air Force, and he wanted to learn his way around again.
How is that lesson going for you tonight so far?
Not too good.
Then he comes up with a completely different excuse.
What made you drive into this driveway and walk into this house?
I'm just asking for directions, like...
Oh, so you're lost?
Yes, sir.
But he drops that story as soon as I read to him from his chat log.
I take it you're a virgin.
No, sir.
Not you. I'm reading from the conversation between you and Natasha. You say to her, "I take it you're a virgin." She says, "No, but I'm no hoe." You talk about oral sex in great detail, how you like to do it.
Honestly, my intention was not to do anything like that because...
Why would you answer that? Yep.
Hey, I know, it's jailbait.
Jailbait.
24-year-old with a 15-year-old, that's jailbait. However, I do believe you can be friends with a 15-year-old and maybe go out and go bowling or something like that.
But that's not what you talk about here. You don't talk about going out bowling or just hanging out or mentoring this 15-year-old girl. You talk about having sex with her in great detail.
I will get on there and I will speak inappropriate. Sometimes people will just talk about that.
If you were here right now and wanted to, I would not deny you. I want to blank your brains out.
Yeah,
I can't help it.
There is...
Blank your brains out.
I mean, is there any other meaning for that?
There's a difference, though, between wanting to and actually doing it.
It sounds like you sure wanted to, based upon this. I can't control my horny level. You see, during the conversation, you just masturbated twice, and it hasn't helped.
Jesus, why would you say that to someone? Sorry, my mic is.
And I was lying.
You were lying then, or you're lying now?
I was lying then. I mean, granted, yes, it's my fault, but did I actually fall into a trap?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet teens on the internet and then try to meet them.
Yes, sir.
Now, everything you've just said has been recorded with our hidden cameras from the moment you pulled into the driveway.
All I explained was I did not come here with the intention of having sex. I came here with the intention of hanging out, doing, talking a little bit, maybe go bowling, maybe shoot some pool or something.
Well, Brian, what should happen to you?
Well, honestly, with this, I think I should just be allowed to just go home.
Like nothing ever happened?
No, sir. Go home. Just take it as a lesson learned, not to do it again.
No such luck. Like all the other men who show up at this house, he gets arrested. While this former military man talked even after he knew he was being recorded, the next man, currently a soldier, doesn't stay long enough to find out he's on national television.
Okay, I just gotta put this in the washer. Come on in.
He's 27-year-old Marshall Gertman, a first lieutenant in the National Guard who served a year in Iraq. He's been chatting with a decoy posing as a 15-year-old. Using the screen name High Excitement, he sends the girl a link for her to view pornographic pictures and asks her, "What do you think?" And then asks, "Do you like it?" Later, he makes plans to come over and go skinny dipping.
Hey, just have a seat. If I don't put this stuff in right away, it gets all wrinkled.
Okay. Jesus
You can just take a seat. I'll be
wig.
right there. I take laundry.
As he's walking in, he seems to spot our crew.
He's leaving.
And takes off.
Sheriff's office, get your hands up. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. There.
What? Is that Sheriff White's car?
While he never tells us his side of the story, as we'll hear later, he speaks at length to investigators.
I mean, you brought up the fact of going skinny dipping in the swimming pool with a 15-year-old girl.
Yes, sir.
Back at the house, here comes another soldier, an Army Staff Sergeant who served a tour in Iraq, 33-year-old Rolando Resticruz.
Hey, come on in.
Online, he calls himself Married and Looking for Fun 31313. He's been chatting for 3 weeks with Bedhead Red, a decoy who told him she was a 14-year-old virgin. He tells the girl when he first gets to her house they can take a shower together. "I will
Jesus
undress
Christ,
you,
that
and you
name,
will undress
Married
me,
and
okay?"
Looking
The
for
decoy
Fun.
says, "Okay." Then he says, "I will have to get some lubricant, too. For a virgin to have sex, it hurts, so it's better if I put some extra lubricant." He also promises to bring her beer, a webcam, and sexy lingerie. But as he walks into the house, he doesn't appear to
Why
be
do they need a
carrying any
webcam?
presents. Could they be in his truck? More on that later.
I made some
Oh my
sweet
God, they're not
tea.
using
It's
the
on
wig
the table.
finally.
I just gotta put this stuff in the washer real quick.
Have a little iced tea?
Oh, how you doing, sir?
Good. How much have a seat? What are you doing here today?
Sir, I wasn't going to do anything, I swear.
You weren't going to do
Bullshit.
No.
anything?
No.
Well, who are you here to see?
I was going to meet her. That's it.
Meet who?
Your daughter.
My daughter.
Yes.
What makes you think it's my daughter?
He never answers that question. Instead, he says,
Sir, I don't want you to destroy my life.
Well, you made the decision to walk in here.
I know, sir, but I wasn't going to do anything, I swear.
That's not what it sounds like in this chat log.
Yes, I was just fooling around, sir.
Damn, you're very sexy. You have a boyfriend?
Chris
I know,
is looking
sir,
for the punchline.
Sorry, please.
So you ever been with an old guy before? No, I need you to stay in the chair, please. Sit down, please.
Please, sir.
He refuses to sit in the chair.
Chris.
He's certain we have the right man. I ask him about the chat log.
Married looking for fun, that's you, right? For a virgin to have sex, it hurts, so it's better if I put some extra lubricant.
I wasn't going to do anything, I swear. I was going to just tell you that I cannot do it.
Well, that's not consistent with what's here, page after page after page.
I was coming straight up.
You were going to tell her what? That all this sex talk was just play and...
I wasn't going to do it. I have a daughter. She's my stepdaughter.
How old is she?
17.
What do you think your stepdaughter would think about this?
Oh, she will kill me.
Your ex-wife, what is she going to think about this?
She will kill me too.
While on his knees, the 33-year-old appears to try to bargain with us.
I would never do it again, never. I swear. Just don't destroy my career. I'm gonna get counseling, I swear.
Counseling?
Yes.
Do you often chat with teenage girls on the internet?
No, it was the first time.
Why even enter into this discussion with somebody who says they're 14?
Sir, please.
On his knees, he seems a sad character. But this is the same man who chatted online for more than 3 weeks, typing well over 50 pages of chat log, saying things to a girl he thought was 14, like, remember, sex is a little nasty. I don't want your dad to find stuff in his bed.
Rolando, what should happen to you?
I don't know. I mean,
don't you see something wrong with a grown adult, a sergeant in the Army, coming over to meet a 14-year-old girl?
I will get counseling, sir, I swear.
Why should I believe that?
I promise you, with my life.
But what happens to him legally is not up to me. His sexual online chat with someone he thought was 14 is enough to get him charged with a felony.
Do you ever watch television?
Yes, sir.
Do you ever watch Dateline NBC?
Yeah, about the cops and everything, I know.
You ever see the To Catch a Predator show?
Yes, I'm not a predator, sir, I swear.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story. Oh my God. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to say,
sir, please.
we'd like to hear it. Otherwise, you're free to walk right out of this house.
No, sir, can I go?
Yes, absolutely.
The soldier is free to leave, but remains kneeling, perhaps because he knows what will happen next. Eventually, he gets up and, with his head hanging low, heads for the front door. But he's not on his feet for long. The tears keep flowing as the police arrest him, but his sob story may seem less convincing once we show you what the police find in his truck. Gifts he brought for a 14-year-old.
Astroglide, is that some kind of sexual lubricant?
Yes, sir.
You brought that with you?
Yeah, that's the old school
How about panties and a camisole?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what about the other soldier who served time in Iraq? Things get tough for him inside the interrogation room.
Provided a 15-year-old child with a pornographic website. Yes, sir. This could cost you a military career.
When To Catch a Predator continues.
I'm Chief Wade with Harris County Sheriff's Department. Your name is Rolando Restacruz?
Yes, sir.
Rolando is the 33-year-old Army Staff Sergeant who kneeled in our kitchen and told a sob story. But if he never intended to do anything wrong, how would he explain what investigators find in his truck?
Is all this stuff in the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
How about Trojan? Is that Trojan condoms?
Yes, sir.
So you brought condoms with you?
Yes, sir.
How about Astroglide? Is that some kind of sexual lubricant?
Yes, sir.
You brought that with you? How about panties and a camisole?
Yes, sir.
The webcam?
Did you buy the webcam?
Yes, sir.
Why did you bring it with you?
Because I promised her that I was going to give her one.
It was all there in the chat logs that Perverted Justice provided to law enforcement. Remember, his screen name is Married and Looking for Fun 31313.
Does the screen name Bedhead Red 14 ring a bell with you?
Oh, boy, Wrinkles.
That's Whitney. And Whitney, you believe to be a 14-year-old girl, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, around 6:56, you told her after some chat, I want you in my chest after we do it all night sleeping together. Is that you? Okay. Then you say, I love you, baby. And then you say, I want to be your loving husband forever. And you're nodding your head yes? Okay. Down a little bit further, Married and Looking for Fun says, we will have to hide your real age. You remember typing that?
What?
You're nodding your head yes? Okay.
What?
He doesn't deny a thing.
guys
Investigators
not lawyered
complete
up?
the interrogation and the soldier is taken to the county jail,
Look to your left for me.
where officers take his
Lawyer
mugshot,
up.
fingerprints,
Not
and
trying to
place him in
defend
a
these
cell.
guys or anything.
2 days later,
Rolando Restacruz.
he goes before a judge.
Mr. Restacruz, you're charged with criminal attempt child molestation.
fuck.
It's a felony. It carries a
Oh,
felony
look
of
at
1
that,
to
dude. Look
20
how old
years.
it is.
And bail is set.
All right, on the criminal attempt child molestation, I'm going to set a $15,000 bond.
He wasn't the only military man caught in our sting, but this other soldier's memory isn't as clear. Remember First Lieutenant Marshall Gertman? He made plans to meet a girl he thought was 15.
Honestly, I couldn't remember her age. She only told me that one time. I knew she was
You
probably
stupid
underage
son
just
of
by
a
the way we were
bitch.
talking. bad judgment call and bad judgment call to keep talking to her.
Well, you know, first lieutenants don't make bad judgment calls.
Hey,
not always.
Not always.
But he insists he had no plans for sex with the young
Honestly,
teen.
no, I would never let myself do that.
Well, you let yourself internet chat with a 15-year-old.
Yes, sir. I know.
You let yourself come over to a house where there was only a 15-year-old in it.
Yes, sir. I know.
And you expect me to believe that you didn't expect to get laid while you were here?
Sir, no, I don't expect you to believe it, no. But knowing myself, no, I wouldn't let it go that far, to that extent, sir.
He did allow himself to send a girl he thought was underage a link to a pornographic website.
So you provided a 15-year-old child with a pornographic website that she could go to?
Yes, sir.
Why would you do that?
I don't really have a good explanation of why.
What's really sad, Marshall, is this could cost you a military career.
I know that, sir.
He's taken away and processed like all the other men caught in our investigation. A total of 20 men showed up at our house in Fortson, Georgia. All 20 were arrested and booked by Harris County Sheriff Mike Jolly and his team.
What do you think would have happened had there, in fact, been a young teenager home alone and had Dateline and the Harris County Sheriff's Department not been there?
I believe that we would have had some young child sexually abused. No doubt in my mind.
And there are other adults seemingly on the prowl for sex with a minor. This man shows up in his big rig.
Yeah. I'll be back in just a second.
And this one, a director at a computer software company, is playing hooky from work so he can meet a 13-year-old home alone.
Sit down, make yourself at home.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm just getting these out so they don't get wrinkled.
All right.
He seems so friendly and polite, that manager at a software company, but his online chat tells a different story.
You know, sex with a minor is called rape.
Right, I understand.
When To Catch a Predator continues.
Oh, thank you. Come again.
All right, Amanda. A tractor trailer coming down the road. Get ready.
You can probably guess what this next suspected sex predator does for a living.
All right, he's here. Let him turn off the engine. He won't be able to hear anything until he cuts the engine. Let's let him get down.
He's a 41-year-old truck driver from Fayetteville, Georgia, Joseph Myrick.
That's what
He thinks a 15-year-old girl is inside, ready to have sex with him.
Come on in, I'm just getting some laundry out.
His screen name is too graphic to use, but in his chat, he asks the decoy, when it comes to sex, are there any positions you like best? The person pretending to be the 15-year-old says, I only did the one. Then he says, well, we'll try others. When the decoy says it's awesome that he's bringing the big truck, he says, well, I do not want your mom finding out, because it would mess up a good thing.
That's a big truck you got. How do you drive that thing?
Well, to be honest with you, it's like driving a car.
Well, I would love to go for a ride sometime.
Well, I'd love to take you.
Where exactly were you going to take her in that truck of yours?
I was just going to take her around, just see certain places, and just talk to her.
It turns into like all like the 90s, like late 90s, mid 90s, like NASCAR drivers, how like they used to talk.
Like where?
She just want to go for a ride. I take her for a ride.
Nothing scared them into that.
I mean, no harm trying to do nothing I shouldn't be doing. Trying to, be no idiot and no pervert or nothing.
That's what he says now. But what about what he said to her online?
You say, well, I do think you're damn sexy, and was wanting to know if you have ever had sex.
Oh, did I?
Yes, you did. I have it all right here, so you might as well just tell me right now.
I ain't disputing it. No, sir, I ain't disputing it. I'm just damn.
I think you probably have a very nice ass as well.
I just fell into the conversation. I ain't gonna sit here and try to make no excuses for the things I said, because I fell into the conversation. It was totally, it was wrong. And
you say, yeah, I'll be your bear, and we bears like tasting honey.
When you read it back to me like that right there, and I realizing what I said, no, you're right.
What do you think would have happened if I wasn't here? And in fact, a 15-year-old girl was here.
I told myself, I get in here to sit and just talk to her,
You just said you were going to take her for a ride in the truck.
If she wanted to go,
How do you think a girl's father would feel if a 40-year-old man took a 15-year-old girl for a ride in a truck?
He'd be upset, right?
And he'd be justified, wouldn't he?
Oh, yes, he would.
You own that rig yourself?
No, sir.
So you work for a company that owns that rig?
Yes, sir.
And how do you think they'd take to the fact you're out driving that rig around, going to meet a 15-year-old girl?
Well, they would look on it as in a bad note.
A bad note.
Like the way it actually looks.
You know what's wrong.
It was foolish.
It was foolish.
it was the wrong thing to do, and it won't happen again. I know you got a job to do, and I see it all the time. And
you see what all the time?
On news reports.
You've seen stories on television news about guys coming over to meet underage kids.
Yes, sir. But
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults
yes, sir.
who try to meet young teens on the internet. If there's anything else you'd like to tell us, we're happy to hear it, and if not, you're obviously welcome to walk out the door you came in.
I told myself on my way down here, just talk to her, and just stay away from the sexual overtones.
The 41-year-old leaves the house, and you know what happens next.
Get on the ground, now! All the way down, all the way down. Yes, sir.
Turns out this isn't Myrick's first time in handcuffs.
Stand up on your neck.
Yes, sir.
This individual, Joseph Myrick, he's had 11 prior arrests.
11 prior arrests?
11 prior arrests. It could range from possession of drugs to simple battery to theft. Pretty good little record that we have on him. Started as early as 1983.
He was never convicted on the battery or theft charges, but in the 1990s, he was convicted of 6 misdemeanors and 1 felony drug charge. After Myrick's arrest, his truck is searched.
Cocaine.
Where detectives find cocaine. Myrick is then brought in for questioning, where he appears to admit what he's done is wrong.
Do you have any kids?
No, sir. I got nieces and nephews.
How would you feel if somebody did this thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I will kill him.
Then the investigator asks Myrick about his use of cocaine.
I'm gonna tell you like it is. When I talked both times I did talk to her, I was in town and I was under the influence of it.
He seems to blame the cocaine for his current predicament. He'll be charged with drug possession, along with attempting to commit child molestation and obscene internet contact.
I'm going to set the criminal attempt child molestation at $15,000, the possession of controlled substance, $5,000.
That's going to be our 130. Wow. I mean, he'd be way early if that's him.
One thing that's disturbing about our investigations is that so many who show up look like nice guys, men you'd never suspect of possibly attempting to molest a child.
Look at
this
yard. Open the front door, Amanda. Let's make sure he sees that you're there.
Shit everywhere.
He's 34-year-old Abhilash Bhaskaran, a director of software development for a large. He's 34-year-old Abhilash Bhaskaran, a director of software development for a large computer company. He thinks he's here to meet a 13-year-old girl.
Hey, come on in. I'm fine, how are you? Come on.
Oh my God.
I'm just finishing up some laundry.
Take it back.
I made you some sweet tea if you want to pour a glass.
His screen name is Raj21US21. While chatting online with a decoy pretending to be 13, he asks, "Hon, would you like to take me in your mouth?" The girl says, "I'm not sure how." So Raj21US21 says, "We will learn as we go along." But just as they're about to sign off, he tells the decoy what he's doing is wrong, that he has to be cautious.
Cautious? Why?
You know, sex with minor is called rape.
You don't want to have sex with me?
So I just want to make sure everything is okay. I don't want to see a cop waiting to see me there.
He seems relieved when he sees our decoy and not a police officer.
Sit down, make yourself at home.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm just getting these out so they don't get wrinkled.
All right. So you've got a big afternoon planned,
those
huh?
wrinkles.
Why don't you have a seat right there, please?
Out.
What's going on?
Nothing much. I thought I'll just make a friend and that's it.
Told just to make a friend?
Yeah.
And who is the friend you were here to see?
Amy.
Amy. And how old is Amy?
She said she was 13.
13?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
34.
34. And why did you think it was okay at the age of 34 to come visit a 13-year-old girl home alone?
I said, it is for sex, I am not coming.
For sex, you are not coming?
Yeah. So I'll just make a good friend. I'm educated, I have an MBA.
You have an MBA?
Yeah. I'm married and, the marriage is not going well, so...
I'm sorry, you're married?
Yeah, yes, I am.
And the marriage is not going well?
Yeah, so I just want a friend to talk to, kind of.
But explain to me how difficulty in your marriage led you to this house where you believed a 13-year-old girl was home alone.
No, he said she's good in studies and...
Good in studies.
And I thought it is like a mature friend. Okay.
A mature friend?
Yeah.
Where were you when you were having this chat with this 13-year-old girl, Amy? Were you at
I was in office.
You were in your office?
Yeah.
Now, does your boss know that you are online chatting with 15-year-old girls?
I'm sure they don't.
So what would his bosses think if they read a transcript of his pornographic online chat?
You ask if she masturbates.
Right.
You say, I feel like kissing you now, and suck on your blank and feel the tummy.
Right. That is the first day. Then I, slept on that and realized it is not a good thing. I mean, it's not something which I should do.
Well, why even come over here?
No, I mean, it's, it was like working for 1 year. I thought I will just take a day off and.
So you took a day off to come over here?
Yeah.
So you told them you had something else to do?
Who?
The people at your office.
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
I love you so much, hon. You talk about being cautious.
I know.
She says, why? You say, sex with a minor is called rape.
Right. I understand.
So you know the law.
Yeah, I understand the law.
Well, Abby, there's a couple things you need to know.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who meet teens online.
Nothing else to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Since he's never seen one of our reports, he doesn't know that law enforcement is waiting outside to arrest him.
Get on the ground! On the ground now! Get down!
When he's taken in for questioning, he asks to speak to a lawyer.
I'm a foreign national. Can I get an attorney or something?
Already.
What happens next, sir?
Now you go to jail.
Once at the jailhouse, he's fingerprinted and photographed.
My wife and kids won't know where I am, so you can call and let them know.
I'll get back with you on that in just a little bit.
Then put behind bars, awaiting a hearing.
Well, you're charged with criminal attempt child molestation. That's a felony. It carries a penalty of 1 to 20 years.
How will he and all the others explain how they ended up caught in this investigation?
I mean, I've been trying to find a good woman my age. I really had.
When we come back, we'll hear more from
Really
the
said that
judge.
to the
And
judge?
we'll hear plenty of excuses from the suspects.
I've never done it before.
First time I've done this right here.
I've never done this before.
When To Catch a Predator continues.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Judge Webb of the Harris County Magistrate Court.
The undercover operation in Fortson, Georgia is over, and the last of the suspects caught in our sting are appearing before a local judge.
I'm not here to determine if you're guilty or innocent.
For most of the men, the judge sets a bond of $40,000, restricts their use of a computer and their interactions with minors, including their own children.
You're not to have any unsupervised contact with your children. Do they live with you full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. As a condition of your bond, I'm going to permit the contact, but it needs to be supervised.
That was July. Now, only 2 suspects remain in jail, unable to make bond: George Cleary and William Rowell. While just about all the men who showed up at our sting house said they weren't going to do anything illegal, none of them has had a chance to enter a plea, although this man tries to argue his case at his bond hearing.
I don't know for sure, but I hear a little bit of talk about this girl. She's an actor. She's 20 years old, actually.
The judge explains that this is not the time to submit a defense. That will be at a later hearing. And as for what excuses the other suspected sex predators might come up with, here's a reminder of what they told us.
Have you ever done this before?
No.
I've never done it before.
First time I've done this right here.
First time?
Yes, sir.
I swear to you, sir, I've never done this before.
Have you ever chatted with an underage girl online?
No, I have never done this.
She's the first girl I talked to that, this.
Very first one?
I mean, yes, sir. I mean, honest God.
You know how many times I hear that.
You hear it all the time, but I'm telling you,
Do you think everybody could be telling me the truth?
Oh, no. I'm sure they're not.
And while many said it was their first time, a lot of them came prepared for the possibility of sex.
Did you bring condoms with you tonight?
I keep some in my Jeep.
What about condoms?
Yes, sir, I have them.
Did you bring condoms?
Yeah, I brought one, sir.
I keep condoms in the truck.
I have condoms in my car.
For what?
For safety purpose.
In the meantime, we're heading west to Northern California to another hidden camera house, this time in Petaluma, the hometown of Polly Klaas, the young girl abducted and murdered by a sex predator. Also one-time home of John Mark Carr, former suspect in the JonBenet Ramsey murder. In Petaluma, you'll see more men parade to our house, some from the Silicon Valley, as well as a doctor. Most say they were not really here for sex.
Oh, man, I wasn't doing anything.
Get his keys.
I wasn't doing anything.
In the wake of our Georgia investigation, Georgia's governor announced the state will triple the number of agents assigned to computer predator crimes. How do you and your family stay safe online? You can share your safety tips on our website at dateline.msnbc.com. That's all for now. I'm Stone Phillips. For Ann Curry and all of us at NBC News, thanks for watching.
Me. Good night. It's gonna be. Hold on. Find it.
He knew it was illegal, and he showed up anyway.
Let's go back. Let's see. I think it would be so much better to interact with other kids. Jesus! If you ever ask about it. Wow. Jesus Christ, look at this.
Yeah.
Whose house?
All right, y'all. It was a lot of fun tonight. Yeah, I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. I'll be on tomorrow, probably, more than likely, actually. But yeah, hit that subscribe and bell so you can see me going live. And have a good night, y'all. Love ya. Popcorn Mafia. Let's go. Have a good night, y'all.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is a song. Well, I guess I'll just have to show you exactly where you are wrong. Why aren't you hearing the G? Why aren't you feeling the hell? If you don't listen, you'll miss it. You don't understand. I will explain it all once. I can explain it all twice. To make it clear to your brain until you're taking a bite. It couldn't be a damn cause it doesn't have a lever. It's not the TMB cause it doesn't make you wait. It couldn't be a taco cause it isn't very crunchy. It couldn't be an Austin cause it isn't Mary Kay. It can't be dirty dancing cause it doesn't make you vomit. It couldn't be an iron cause it doesn't burn your face. It couldn't be a scramble cause it isn't freaking awesome. It couldn't be a keyboard cause it doesn't have a space bar. Because this is not a song, it's a sandwich. What would make you think otherwise? This is not a song, it's a sandwich. No more of your vile filthy lies. This is a song. No, it's a sandwich. But it's a song. No, it's a sandwich. So what are you thinking? Still think this is a song? Do you require more proof? Do you enjoy being wrong? Aren't you hearing the meat? Why aren't you feeling the bread? If you don't listen, you'll miss it. You're making me sick. I will explain it all once. I can explain it all twice. And then again and again until you're taking a bite. It couldn't be a chick cause it doesn't want to marry. It can't be one of those things because it doesn't suck enough. It couldn't be a boot cause it isn't very squishy. It couldn't be a beer cause it isn't good as stuff. It couldn't be a tub cause it doesn't have a ducky. It couldn't be a stoner cause it doesn't have a joint. It couldn't be an egg cause there is no Easter bunny. It couldn't be a song cause it doesn't have a point. Because this is not a song, it's a sandwich. What would make you think otherwise? This is not a song, it's a sandwich. It's really just a hoagie in disguise. I'm pretty sure this is a song. No, it's a sandwich. Song. Sandwich. song! Sandwich! Jesus, dude, what is wrong with you? No, it's a sandwich!